Hello friends, this is Shifa and a huge welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to talk on poem called The Chimney Sweeper by William Blake. Before I start giving you the analysis of the poetry itself, let me make you clear that this poetry has been from a very famous collection of William Blake, which is published in two parts, Song of Innocence and Song of Experience, of which Song of Innocence was published around 1789 and Song of Experience was published in 1794. Okay, so you are going to come across two poetries of the same name in two different collections. What is beneficial over here and what is very significant to look at is the kind of two different perspective we are going to look at, because both the poetries have the common subject, the chimney sweeper, but we are going to look at from two different perspective. So without any delay, I think we should start to talk about the first poetry. Okay, so let me give you first the introduction of William Blake itself as a poet. William Blake is a believer of anti-slavery, so you can see a glance of anti-slavery kind of talking of that subject in his poetry very often. Okay, even though he's a romantic poet, but you are going to see a lot of imagery, symbolism and everything he uses to portray, to put out that social injustice happening, or he is very much socially aware and he also looks forward to put that forward into his poetry. So William Blake is a romantic poet, but you are also going to see a lot of social awareness in his poems. Okay, now without any delay, we'll first look at the Song of Innocence. Okay, the Song of Innocence, with the title you can understand that it has an element which we say innocence, and innocence is attached to children. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you the background, the historical background of what is actually happening and why this poem has been written in the first place. As I talk about anti-slavery, the same thing is there in the poem itself. The subject is about anti-slavery, and it is in fact about the anti-slavery of the small children's. So what was happening in the year 19th and 20th century, there was this prominent rise of bourgeoisie, which made there was whole process of industrialization and everything. So people used to have chimneys over their houses, and that passage was really small. So what they do is these bourgeoisies used to hire small children of 2 to 4 years, because that chimney space was too small to get into it, and these children used to clean that. So it's a chimney sweeper. Chimney sweeper is in fact these small children who don't even know what they are doing, and the kind of suffering they are going through. And William Blake laments the same thing. Okay, he is very much empathetic towards these children, and that's why he wrote this poem in his collection. So without any delay, let's start. So I'm going to read out the poetry line by line, and I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, the first part is from the Song of Innocence. Okay, and the title is The Chimney Sweeper. When my mother died, I was very young. So you can see the child is very young, as I said. So it starts with, when my mother died, I was very young, and my father sold me while yet my tongue could scarcely cry, weep, 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 weep. So your chimneys I sweep, and in sooth I sleep. This 4 line itself says that his mother has been died. So you can see first person narrative. The child is itself speaking, and he or she is saying that my mother has already died, and my father has sold me to some stranger while I cannot even speak. Okay, I cannot even scarcely cry in the sense he's not crying as in weeping, but weep word over here is sweep. So what the chimney sweeper do? They shout, like whoever wants to clean their chimney, callers, they roam around the cities and they shout, weep, weep. So he's saying, I am not able to even utter that word. I was that young. Okay, my mother has recently died and my father has sold me. Okay, so your chimney I sweep, and in soot is a blackish powder which we got after, burning coal and everything, and he is sleeping in that soot. There's a little Tom Dacker who cried when his head, that curled like a lamb's back, was shaved. Okay. There is this another child, Tom Dacker. So he's saying that he's not only one, he also has a friend whose name is Tom Dacker over here, and he's crying. Why he's crying? Because his head has been shaved, and he's crying because he doesn't want that. Now what he's saying, this narrator, this small child, is saying to his friend, hush Tom, never mind it, for when your head's bare, you know that the soot cannot spoil your white hair. So he's saying, do not worry my friend, even if your head has been bald, even if your head has been removed, hair has been removed, that's only going to help you out, because that's going to not make your white hair black. Now this is the irony itself, because these people are, what they are doing, they are motivating each others, and they don't even know themselves that they are in a kind of suffering. They are actually suffering. They are in a very worse state, but still they are motivating each other. And so he was quiet, and that very night, as the Tom was sleeping, he had such a sight. Now in the same night itself, that narrator's friend Tom is having a dream, and what he's dreaming that thousands of sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned and Jack, were all of them locked up in a coffins of black. Now this friend of narrator, who is that Tom Dacker, he is dreaming that apart from Tom narrator, there are other many children, and they are also locked up in a coffin, in a black. And what is that black coffin? That is a chimney itself. Okay, because chimney mein there is this blackish powdered material over there, right? So he is dreaming of that same thing, and he's saying that apart from me, there are other children as well who are locked up in this black coffin. And by came an angel who had a bright key. Okay, and he opened the coffins and set them all free. Then down a green plain, leaping, laughing, they run and wash in the river and shine in the sun. And what this Tom Dacker, this small child, is dreaming, he is dreaming that one angel is coming with a key, okay, with problems of the solution. That angel is opening that coffin and everyone is free. They then down a green plain, leaping, laughing, they run. They started running with joy and wash in the river and shine in the sun. So they washed themselves, they got themselves clean, they got that blackish material out of their body. And this is very much metaphorical, saying that whatever their sufferings they have on their bodies, they are removing and they are shining in the sun. Then naked and white, all their bags left behind, they rise upon the clouds and sport in the wind. Okay, now what he's saying, this Tom Dacker is only having a vision, and he's saying that now everyone is naked and white. What does this mean? The baggage of suffering, they all, every children has removed this baggage, okay, and they are all white. All their bags are left behind. Bags is again a metaphor used to create meaning for sufferings over here. They rise upon clouds and sport in the wind. And the angel told Tom, if he did be a good boy, he did have God for his father and never want joy. So he's saying that Tom saw a dream where he is meeting that angel face to face, and that angel said that if you are going to listen to your God, you will never need anything. Like you will never need that need to have that joy in your life. Okay, you will be having it already. If you have God beside you, then you are already happy. Okay, so you don't need to worry about sufferings. And so Tom awoke, and we rose in the dark and got with our bags and our brushes to work. Now Tom has actually got up from his sleep, and he realized that all those things which he saw right now was just a dream. He has again woken up in a dark, in that chimney, in that coffin, black coffin, and with the bags, with all the sufferings. Okay. Though the morning was cold, Tom was happy and warm. So if all do their duty, they need not fear harm. And the last line is very ironical, because the morning is very cold, there's nothing to be pleasant about, but still Tom is happy because he is dreaming and he is thinking of the fact that angel said if you're doing your work properly, you will never be not happy, you will always be happy. So if you're fulfilling your duty very properly, then no problem, you are a very good boy. Okay. And this is how people convince children, right? So this is a kind of innocence reflected in the poetry itself. The narrator's friend Tom doesn't know that he has been in a very worse condition, and he is in fact in a suffering, and people are using him. Okay, but the kind of tone he's using is an innocent one, because he's saying, okay, if I'm doing my work, then God will reward me. Okay. And this is also again a very big critique on the religion itself, because religion speaks of suffering, and people who suffer, they get reward. Okay. And at that period of time, these hierarchical powers, bourgeoisies and church, so church was also in power, and they were allowing this thing was actually normalized at that period of time. Children were sold out for cleaning chimneys, and William Blake is critiquing on both the power hierarchies, okay, of which religion is also one of them. So this is Song of Innocence, part 1 poetry. Now in the second part, which was published in 1794, that is The Chimney Sweeper, a little black thing among the snow. Now this is Song of Experience. We are going to look at what is there in this poem. This is a very short poem, in fact. A little black thing among the snow, crying weep weep in notes of woe. Where are thy father and mother? Say they are both gone up to the church to pray. Now here the narrator is a kind of a matured person, you can see, because he is looking at a child, and he's saying, okay, there is this black thing. The black thing is a child covered in that black smoke chimney powdered material, and everywhere around there is a snow. So a black thing in the white area. He's crying sweep sweep, means again he is shouting, anybody wants to sweep their chimney, sweep sweep sweep. Okay. Where are thy father and mother? Now this narrator asks the child, where is your father and where is your mother? They are both gone up to the church to pray. Now this child is saying that these people, my parents, are in the church. Okay. Because I was happy upon the heat and smile among the winter snow, they clothed me in the clothes of death and taught me to sing the notes of woe. Now the child is lamenting over here, and he is saying that because I was happy even though I am not, because I seemed to be happy and I smiled among this winter snow, like I am shouting sweep sweep, anybody wants to hire me and this and that. But yeah, and because of which they clothe me, they give me the responsibility to go and clean, so that I'll be able to earn money and I'll be able to give it to them. Okay. And taught me to sing this, so they taught me to sing the notes of woe. And because I am happy and dance and sing, they think they have done me no injury. And now again he is pointing out his lamenting process. He is saying that because I'm still a child, I'm innocent, so I will have that kind of childishness in me, but they think that this whole act is doing no harm to me. They think like that. Okay. And are gone to praise God and his priest and king, who make up a heaven of our misery. Now he is directly pointing out, this child is directly pointing out to the hierarchical powers, the king, the priest, and God. So he is saying that these people, they think that they have done a better job by sending me here. They have done no injury, no harm to my childhood, and they have sent me here to earn me, so that I can be able to earn some money for them. And they are in fact thankful for God, for priest, and for king for supporting this act. So this is a direct attack towards the hierarchical powers, which William Blake has critiqued on through these two poems in the two different collections. Now, what's more important here is the themes. You should remember the themes are of misery. There is a lot of misery used, okay, deaths, okay. So there are many children at that period of time also died because of cancer, because of various diseases they got. They choked and died because chimney is a very small area, na. So many children died also. But apart from it, you know, theme of hope is also, you can say, is there, okay, because the William Blake itself is critiquing, okay. And critiquing, that is one thing, but the perspective is of children. So you can see, in especially in the first poem, you can see a hope of getting away with this suffering. Children are still hoping, okay, hoping that someone will come and ease our suffering, that angel thing, you remember. So misery, death, and hope are some of the themes you can look at. You can talk about it in your notes. Apart from it, I am going to talk on the kind of structure used. So there is this 6 stanza, okay. Each of them is quatrain, okay. Quatrain means what? 4-line poems. So if you are going to look at poem, that is 4-line paragraphs, and the rhyme scheme is AABB. The first poem I'm talking about is of 6 stanza, and the second poem is of 3 stanza. You can have a look at it, and both the poems are written in quatrain, like 4 lines, okay. And both the rhyme scheme is AABB. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for more such videos. I'll be putting out more video in the coming days. With full I'll very try my best to put out a lot of analysis part, because now standard of literature has been risen up, and I think you should not only just read the text as such, you should also go for analysis part. That makes literature very interesting, and you have a very insightful vision as well, okay. So best of luck for your exam preparations and everything, and whatever you are doing with your life, all the best. Go for it. This is a new year, and you should work towards your future to have a better tomorrow. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.